Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spurs Up Show, best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. Today is Friday, May the 7th, 2021. Today's show, I lock in my official predictions. The Gamecocks welcome the fourth-ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs to Founders Park beginning tonight for a best-of-3 series. A huge series for South Carolina, again, as they chase their postseason dreams. Also, I have a quick note, a quick tidbit for you guys, some massive news that has not been released yet in regards to Gamecocks baseball that's not only going to affect South Carolina this season, but also next season as well, guys. We got a packed show here on a Friday, and it's all brought to you by our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. Guys, Upstate Movers Group, superior moving service. They bring care and attention other companies can't offer because they're just too busy maintaining trucks and profiting off of them instead of focusing on service. Guys, service is what separates Upstate Movers Group from the competition. They're not a trucking company. They're a moving services company, and they're also employee-owned co-op. Their movers are paid twice the industry average, and everyone on the crew is invested in your success. They have dedicated professional crew members, and they also offer black glove service. They offer end-to-end packing services, custom crating and packaging for special items, and cleaning services as well. They're founded by Greenville natives and University of South Carolina alumni, guys, so a Gamecock-owned small business. They also offer 20 years of project management moving experience, and they can offer logistics and solutions that traditional moving companies simply do not have the skills for. Guys, whether in the upstate or across the state of South Carolina, if you have any moving needs in 2021, be sure to check out our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. You can find them on social media at Upstate Movers Group, or of course, if you have any other questions, go to their website, upstatemoversgroup.com. That's upstatemoversgroup.com. Be sure to check them out and tell them Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Let's get it. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what is going on? TGIF, happy Friday. Hope you are all doing well here on this beautiful Friday afternoon in the city, guys. Again, I'm your host, Chris Phillips of the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. We have got a packed show. It's always a fun show when I'm giving predictions, when we're talking about what's going to happen. And that's exactly what I'm doing on this show today. Is again, the Gamecocks welcome the fourth-ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs to Founders Park in a massive, and I mean massive, home series for Gamecocks baseball, guys. Again, I'll lock in my official prediction. Also, a tidbit, a piece of news, again, that's not out yet pertaining to Gamecocks baseball, and something that I'm hearing, the rumblings. I'll let you guys know exactly what it is. And a big piece of news that, again, is going to affect Carolina baseball, not just this year, but the following season as well. And that's unfortunate to hear. But again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. We got a lot to get into here on a Friday. First things first, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Thank you so much. Whether you're on the commute, you're in the office, you're at home, you're the day off, whatever it may be, you're starting your weekend early, you're at the beach. I feel like everybody I know is at the beach this week. And I don't know why. Everybody just went to the beach this week. And I don't know if it's because exams are over or kids are out of school or what in the world's going on, but why was I not invited? Why am I not at the beach? But appreciate you all tuning in. Hope you're all doing well. Seriously, man. So grateful for you guys for all the love and support you show. Thank you so much. Content has been rolling all week this week. We've had a fantastic week this week. Also, just a quick life update. For those asking, golf went very, very well yesterday. I want to take a second to say thank you to the people at Greenwood Country Club who treated us so well. It was a captain's choice tournament for a great cause as well. It was a fantastic time. Got to meet George Rogers, as I'm sure you guys saw on social media, which was absolutely incredible. It was the Burton Center tournament. So again, an awesome cause, the Burton Center tournament in Greenwood, South Carolina. I want to say thank you to Greenwood Country Club, everyone involved, because again, it was a fantastic event. The course was in great shape, great people, great time. And we played some great golf. Our team actually shot a 54. So kind of happy with that. Yours truly, I hadn't swung a golf club in months. And the way I played, I was actually fairly happy with my game. So that's a nice update for you. He was hitting the wedges really well, was putting it pretty well. Driver was hit or miss, if you will. But overall, after not playing for a couple of months, I've played much, much, much worse in my life. So pretty happy overall with the day. And again, the people at Greenwood Country Club, amazing people. And I'm meeting George Rogers. And I actually gave George Rogers one of my business cards. It was like, hey, George, we got to get you on the show, man. We got to get you on the Spurs Up show. We got to get you on the airways. We'll do it via Zoom. You don't even have to come in. So hopefully, maybe soon, you guys will be hearing George Rogers very, very soon. But again, fingers crossed. We can only hope and pray that that will happen at some point. But again, we had a great time, the links yesterday. And now I'm very excited, guys, as we dive into it. So excited to talk Gamecocks, Mississippi State taking on the 4th-ranked Bulldogs. And what a big opportunity this is. What a big series this is. And again, guys, I don't want to sound like a broken record because I'm going to say that the last 3 series, oh, this is a huge weekend, it's a big weekend. But, you know, you sit right now, we all know where you are, right? 11-10 in the SEC. You know where you are and you know where you need to get. You need to get to 16-14 or better at minimum to have a realistic shot to host a regional this year, which is the ultimate goal, right? That is the first step in chasing the dream of Omaha, if you will. And, you know, I talked about going into last weekend how important that series was. And, you got to find a way to win 2 out of 3 and because of the gauntlets upcoming. Well, now you don't have a choice because you know what? You put your backs against the wall. You got swept in Oxford. And the first big tidbit, the first big piece of news that came out in regards to this series, and I told you guys on yesterday's show, by the way, that was most likely going to happen because I had heard about it on Tuesday. Actually, I think it was Monday night from one of my guys, one of my people that's very, 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 very close with Gamecocks baseball. And sure enough, it happened, which is the weekend rotation shakeup. It's finally happened. Many of you have been asking for weeks, have been clamoring for it, and it is finally official. The Gamecocks weekend rotation will look like this. First things first, here's Mississippi State. They're going just as we expected. Christian McLeod, Will Bednar, and Jackson Fristow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. South Carolina, shaking things up. For the first time this season, the Gamecocks will roll out a different weekend rotation than what we've seen at least since the, third or fourth weekend or so when Will Sanders take over the Sunday spot for Julian Bosnick. For the first time, someone not named Thomas Farr will be starting tonight in a game 1 on a Friday night. The weekend rotation looks like this. Brandon Jordan taking the ball tonight. He will slide into the Friday night game 1 role against Mississippi State. In tomorrow's game, game 2, you have the freshman, Will Sanders, who will take the bump, which slides Thomas Farr, your ace all season long, to the Sunday role. Guys, just listen to Thomas Farr's stats, by the way, because I want to talk about this and break this down and give you guys my thoughts on the move. But Thomas Farr's stats, this guy has a 3.67 ERA, and he has a 2-5 record. Like, that just seems so backwards. That seems so incredibly backwards for a guy that has not pitched that bad. Hasn't pitched that bad at all. But the move, moving Thomas Farr to Sunday, Brandon Jordan to Friday. And guys, I've seen you all and heard all your clamoring, and I've heard you guys requesting this and wanting this, and many of you for weeks have been wanting Thomas Farr out of that Friday role. We kept saying over and over again, hey, Thomas Farr is not the issue. His team's not helping him. You're not swinging it. They're not playing great defense. The team around him, for whatever reason, is playing their worst baseball when he is on the mound. Why is that happening? I have no idea. But the first thing this tells me, and Mark Kingston and Skylar Mead and that coaching staff making this move, the first thing this tells me is this, and I'm not totally surprised that it's happened. I'm not totally surprised. But the first thing it tells me, this bunch is desperate to win a game 1. They're desperate. At this point, you feel like, hey, we feel good about Thomas Farr. We've tried everything. We've tried to be hard-headed. We've tried to say, hey, it's just baseball, and that's just how it's happening. But at some point, I'm sure they all looked around. They looked in the mirror and said, you know what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and over again and over again and over again and expecting different results. And so they said, you know what? We're 11-10. We've got 3 SEC series left. We are going to make or break our season in these last 3 series. So why not? Let's roll the dice. And it's a big roll of the dice, by the way. It is. I think it is. We don't know that Brandon Jordan is ready for this limelight. I think he is. I think he's ready for the spotlight. You know, he's a senior. He's pitched in big games all season long. One could argue he's pitched in much bigger games than game one all season long. He's pitched in many games where our backs have been against the wall and you had to get a W. So he's pitched in some huge games, no question. I think he'll be ready. Hey, Will Sanders in the Saturday roll, game 2. How does he fare? And then Thomas Farr. What an interesting matchup to have a guy like Thomas Farr, your ace, a redshirt junior, going on Sunday up against the freshman from Mississippi State. So again, the first thing I think it tells you is that this bunch is desperate to win a game 1. And again, I'm not totally surprised, and I'm not even going to say that I totally hate the move because I understand where they are coming from. But the fact of the matter is this: you're still going to have to play good defense. You're still going to have to hit. You're still going to have to do those things. But I think what Mark Kingston and Skylar Meade, I think what they understood and agreed on was we can't just go the entire season and lose every single Friday night game and not change anything and say, hey, we just didn't try anything. Because at least now, if you go through this weekend and you still lose game 1, at least Mark Kingston and that staff can look at the media and look at people and say, hey, we tried. We tried something different. We tried to switch it up, and it just flat out did not work. So we'll see how it plays out. And it's a very interesting dynamic in this series because, hey, Brandon Jordan, going to need to be at his best. McLeod is a legitimate big-time arm tonight, the lefty from Mississippi State. Then you got the matchups of the Wills, Will Sanders and Will Bednar. And then, of course, like I said, Thomas Farr and Jackson Fristow. But overall, you look at this series, guys, and we broke down the Bulldogs, obviously, on yesterday's show in depth. If you want to hear that, go back and listen to yesterday's show, a full comprehensive breakdown of Mississippi State. But their strength is on the mound. And I say that in also mentioning that they can swing it to them. I mean, they're hitting 280 as a ball club. Not quite the power surge team we saw last weekend against Ole Miss, but they can swing it. Do not get me wrong. They've got some real studs in that lineup. But I look at this series, and I know there's a lot of this fan base right now that is doom and gloom. And, oh, my God, if we just, if we can even win one game, it's going to be a great weekend. And Mississippi State's just so good. They're going to crush us. This team was exposed last weekend of this and that. I'm just not buying that. And call me crazy, but I feel really good coming in this weekend. You get to come back to the friendly confines. You're back at home in front of your home fans. You're switching things up. You just got a nice one in the midweek. Again, we all know what this weekend will come down to. Your pitching is going to keep you in this series. It all comes down to, do you swing it enough? Or is the timely hitting there? Not just hitting, is the timely hitting. And I know there was an adjustment in regards to the approach in Wednesday's game. I talked to, like I said, a couple of people around Gamecocks baseball that are close to the program, and they said there were some tweaks made. Not wholesale changes, but tweaks. And Kingston said after that game, we still got to be better. It's not where we want to be, but he liked the approaches overall. Mississippi State is one of those ball clubs, guys, that I talked about this season, that before the season, you looked at the season and said, you know what? We expect to win this series. This series will be a toss-up, and in this series, just don't get swept. Unfortunately, this series falls in that last category of you looked at it in the preseason and said, hey, it's at home. If you can win 2 out of 3, great, but just don't get swept. Mississippi State is an elite ball club. They're ranked 4th in the country for a reason. They're 14-7 in SEC play. They're damn good, right? With that being said, though, I do think this is going to be a Carolina ball club that's going to come out extremely focused, ready to play. This team knows, and this program knows, this coaching staff, everybody involved knows where they are right now. Again, you are 11-10 in conference play. You've got to get to that 16-14 number or better if you're going to host a regional. And that's the ultimate goal, right? That is the first step when you're chasing that postseason dream. In regards to the starting rotation, because again, starting tonight, of course, game 1 getting going at 7 o'clock, Saturday game at 4, and then Sunday game at 2. I will say this, like I said, guys, I haven't been a proponent of, I have not encouraged shifting the weekend rotation around because I think Thomas Farr, I feel bad for Thomas Farr. Again, he's 2-5 with a 3.67 ERA. If he had a little bit of support, a little bit of help, he could be 5-2. No questions asked. And this whole storyline about Thomas Farr and everything that, has gone on, people blaming him, he's the easy one to blame. It hasn't been all on him. But call it what it is. For whatever reason, this ball club has played their worst baseball around him. And I don't know why. I don't know if the baseball gods hate him. I don't know if his teammates hate him. I don't know what the deal is or who he pissed off. But our guys just do not play good baseball around him to this point this year. And we're going to find out tonight. Has it really been a Thomas Farr thing? Or has this been just a South Carolina's not good in game 1 thing? On that note, though, I will say this. If there's one positive, if there's one credit to the people that wanted Brandon Jordan in game 1, if there's one credit to you, I will say this. I'm very intrigued to see this from Brandon Jordan. He's done a really, really good job this year of starting games quickly and filling up the zone. And I feel like games that Brandon Jordan pitches in have a really, really nice tempo and flow to them. Hey, that's really important, right? There's nothing that drives me crazier than when I watch a college baseball game or baseball game in general, but it happens much more at the college level. In a guy that is so deliberate and takes so long, and the tempo of the game is so freaking slow. And you know what else doesn't help that? When you throw balls, when you walk guys. And as much as I don't think it was all on Thomas Farr, there were certainly many outings where, you know what? You could call it he was effectively wild, but it also slowed the tempo of the game. And the tone being set, I think, in game 1 is so important. Maybe Brandon Jordan can do a better job of that. Maybe, just maybe. Maybe he can. I will tell you this. I don't give a damn who's pitching Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think your pitching staff, yet again, will give you a chance to win. They'll give you a chance. And I think the question really falls on, again, if we do want to put more pressure on the pitching, because we know we got to hit, how good can your pitching be? Can your pitching win you 2 games? Can they do it? Because I don't think you're going to get shut out 3 games. I don't think that at all. Can your pitching pitch a shutout? Can they do it against a really talented Mississippi State lineup? And then on the hitting side, guys, like I said, Ole Miss was a struggle. Perfect storm weekend. I don't think South Carolina, I want to say this too, I don't think South Carolina, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. You're somewhere in the middle. South Carolina's not as bad as we saw last weekend. It was the perfect storm. You ran into a buzzsaw. You went into a madhouse that was Swayze Field. We all know what happened. But again, this is a team that I trust, the leadership, the quality of guys in that clubhouse. This team will come out fired up, ready to play and attack this thing the right way. There's no question in my mind. And hey, Mississippi State will be ready to go too, no doubt. They're a top 5 team. Of course they will be. But when I look at this series, guys, and again, getting to the point, locking in the prediction, let's get into that. Locking in the prediction. You're not going to find many a Gamecock fan who are very optimistic coming into this weekend. And the last 2 weekends have really beaten down a lot of Gamecock fans. And that's unfortunate because you've played 2 really, really good ball clubs in Arkansas and Ole Miss. And I'm not saying it's okay, like, oh, we lost a series or got to it. Oh, it's no biggie just because they're ranked or they're good. No. If you want to be a legit contender, you got to win these type of series. At some point, hey, if you're going to host a regional, guess what? Yeah, you got to sweep Kentucky next week. And who, by the way, is giving, I'm recording this late on Thursday, they're giving Florida one hell of a game in game one. So look out. That's not going to be a walk in the park at their place too. But you're going to have to sweep them. And then guess what? You're going to have to take a series against either Mississippi State, who's ranked 4th in the country, or Tennessee, who's ranked 5th in the country. You're going to have to win these type of series. So are you a contender or are you a pretender? Again, Gamecocks baseball, it's now or never. You're in the home stretch. On your home field, are you a contender or are you a pretender? This is where you start to define that. This is where you do define that. Bottom line. Can South Carolina hit enough to help its pitching? Its pitching will show up. Can South Carolina get enough timely hits? Not just hitting, but again, hey, if Mississippi State gives you a gift, they walk you, they make an error, you get a guy on second with less than 2 outs. Can you capitalize? Can you take advantage? When you're trying to take down a team like Mississippi State, top 5 team in the land, you have got to take advantage and make them pay for every single mistake. You've got to take advantage of every single opportunity. But again, going back what I was saying, the overall morale is not great right now in Gamecocks. I've even seen fans slipping into that negative depression state that we've seen in other sports. Oh, fire Kingston. This team is terrible. They won't host. They won't even make the postseason. You people on Twitter just disgust me, by the way. You do. You do. Some of you really do. There's a reason I got a lot of you muted. But with that being said, get your heads out of your asses. Stop being all sad and feeling bad for yourself. And, oh, my God, we lost that Ole Miss. And, oh, we lost 2 or 3 to Arkansas. And Kingston stinks. And we need a hitting coach. And let's hit the panic button. This is still a good ball club. It is. Sometimes it's not your weekend. Example, last weekend. Sometimes you run into the number 1 team in the country and you lose a hard-fought series. Example, 2 weekends ago. And sometimes you come into a weekend, your back's against the wall, you're at home, your fans are showing up, it's a beautiful weekend for baseball in the city, you shuffle your weekend rotation, and you know what you do? Do you know what you do, folks? You show up and you prove to the nation and to your own fan base and everyone, we are not going away. We are a legit contender when it comes to this thing. We have talent. We're just as good as anybody in the entire country. And on any given day, when we are at our best, we can beat anyone. And this weekend, guys, you can call me crazy. You can say whatever you want to say. I have a really, 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 really good feeling going into this weekend. Is it going to be a challenge? Is it going to be a task? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely it is. But I will say this. Again, a couple weeks ago, I was not really on board with the change in the weekend rotation stuff, whatever. I understand why they are doing it now. I do think Brendan Jordan's going to be a fantastic start tonight. I do. I actually do think he's going to. I think Will Sanders will do Will Sanders things. And I think Thomas Farr on Sunday, I question whether, is he going to doubt himself and question himself? I think he'll come out motivated, want to pitch his ass off and get his first SEC win of his career, which he still does not have, obviously. He doesn't have an SEC win yet. Again, if you want to cower away in the corner and feel bad for yourself and feel like, oh, my God, this team isn't good, this and that, and oh, my God, the season's just not perfect. Things aren't going exactly how I wanted them to go. I don't know what to do. I can't even watch. Where's the panic button? Let me hit it. You can do that. But as for me and the rest of the Rowdy Roosters that know we have a good team, we know we have a good ball club, this is still a top 20 team for a reason. This is still one of the best pitching staffs in the country for a reason. And this is still a lineup which I think will be very interesting to follow with how they shuffle it up. Is Brady Allen still in the 3? Is Braylon Wimmer leading off? Talked about all that yesterday. Can Kingston and company push the right buttons? Hey, guess what? Mark Kingston's a good baseball coach, whether you like to hear that or not. Is he a perfect coach? No, he's not. But damn it, none of them are. None of them are. And I think this team, with leaders like Brady Allen, Andrew Eister, Wes Clark, your guys on the bump, all of them, Jordan Farr, even Will Sanders, Lloyd Carey, all these guys. But your main leaders, the heart and soul of your team, they're not going to let this thing crumble. They're not going to let this thing fall off. And these last 3 weekends, like I said, are you a contender or are you a pretender? And I think Gamecocks baseball is going to show all of us and show everyone and show all of you why we are still a contender. Give me the Gamecocks to take 2 out of 3 this weekend. And again, you can call me crazy. You can say I'm whatever. Say whatever you want. You want to hit the panic button. If you've already done so, if you're checked out, then don't watch this weekend. Don't do it. But if you're here for the SEC grind, if you're here for dealing with the adversity and overcoming, then welcome to college baseball and welcome to the South Carolina baseball season, this baseball team. This team will show you this weekend why they are contenders. I think the Gamecocks do just enough at the plate. Is it going to be pretty? I doubt it. I doubt it. It's been a struggle all year. It'll probably be a struggle this weekend. And Mississippi State, like I said, you're going to have to take advantage of their mistakes. You're going to have to. But I just think this South Carolina team, and again, on the mound, enough said. We'll do enough to win. No question we'll do enough to win. But I think this is going to be a team, like I said, guys, you're going to see they know they have their backs against the wall. You know what's on the line. You know where you are. You know where you stand. You know what you have to do. And it starts this weekend against the 4th-ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs, a team that, as good as they are, can be beat. And if you're going to be a contender, if you're going to host a regional, you got to protect your home field and you got to take a series like this one. You just flat out have to. You can't just say, oh, tip our cap. They're top 5 in the country. No, to hell with that. They're going to tip their cap to us. They're going to say, you know what? We went on the road. We ran into a wildfire. We ran into a buzzsaw. We faced a really, really good South Carolina team. They were ready for us. They were desperate. They were hungry. And they took it to us. And they took 2 out of 3. That's what's going to be said. That's what Mississippi State will be saying after this weekend is over. Cox take 2 of 3. Book it, tweet it, write it down. South Carolina will take 2 out of 3 this weekend from Mississippi State. Freaking lock it in. Lock it in on a Friday here from yours truly. Let's freaking go. I'm fired up, man. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm jacked. This Gamecocks baseball team is good. Again, whether you want to admit that or not, whether you want to go on Twitter and believe what Joe Schmo with 27 followers says, then go tune into his podcast. But if you want the unfiltered, honest truth and what this team really is, if this team stunk, I would tell you this team stunk. I'd tell you. But they don't. This is a high-quality ball club. And it'll be a great series, 3 great games, and I think, again, at home, a team that's back against the wall that knows what it has to do. The leadership on this team and the character of this team will shine this weekend. Gamecocks take 2 of 3. Boom. Woo! Let's get it. I'm fired up, man. Going to be a great weekend of baseball again. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 7 o'clock first pitch tonight. 4 o'clock first pitch tomorrow. 2 o'clock first pitch on Sunday. I will be at the Saturday and Sunday games. Of course, guys, like I told you before, will not be at the game tonight because we are celebrating my little brother, his deployment next Tuesday. Of course, family comes first, and this was something for obvious reasons, guys, I could not miss. But, of course, we'll be watching the game, covering the game, all of that good stuff. And just excited, man. Extremely pumped for a great weekend of baseball in Columbia. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be legendary. And, again, I got the Gamecocks taking 2 out of 3. This team. That's it. This team. Just watch. Carolina takes 2 out of 3. All right. Really quick, guys, one last note. And I'm just going to tell you guys something again. I'm hearing, I kind of spilled the beans yesterday on the weekend rotation stuff. And you guys know, I'm not like that quote unquote insider guy. I'm never want to try to be like, oh, I got my ear to the ground. This is what I'm hearing. But I do know a lot of people that are around Gamecocks baseball. And I can tell you guys this from what I'm hearing, and nothing has come out official. So take it with a grain of salt. But what I can tell you guys is it does not look good in regards to Gamecocks right-handed pitchers Jack Mahoney. Mahoney coming out of the game on Wednesday with forearm stiffness. And I know my good buddy Dirt, who I don't know if I got back to on social media, asked me, Chris, what does that normally mean? Well, what forearm stiffness normally means, it's normally not a good sign. That normally means UCL, which normally means Tommy John surgery, which means out for a year, which means he will not only miss the rest of this season, but the entire season next season as well. That is what I am hearing. I am hoping that is not correct, obviously, but the early indications appear to be that is what the case is. So, again, we were all waiting for the status of Jack Mahoney, and if it's true, if that does come out, it's a damn shame because, Jack, a kid who's pitched great innings for you this year, has been incredible. Definitely would have started the Tuesday game next week against Clemson, would have pitched in the postseason for you, no doubt, as the fourth starter. He's been magnificent all year long. And you just hate to see a kid have his career take that alternate path and have to deal with that. But this kid's a battler. He's tough. He's a grinder. He'll come back better than ever. He'll come back stronger. He'll probably come back throwing harder. I have no doubt. I have no question in my mind. But again, that's what I'm hearing, guys, in case you were wondering. Like I said, from my guy who is extremely close to Gamecocks baseball, that it's sounding like Jack Mahoney does indeed have a torn UCL, which will require Tommy John surgery, which, again, the bad news about that is it will not only knock him out for the rest of this season, but also all of next season as well. So we might not even see Jack Mahoney pitch in Garnet and Black until spring of 2023. Which I know is only 2 years, but just saying that feels like forever for whatever reason. So, again, I hate to end the show on a somber note, but that is just what I'm hearing. Just want to let you guys know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not true, but I'm sure Mark Kingston will be updating us soon. But again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. TGIF. Again, guys, like I said, get fired up. If you're going to Founders Park, turn me up. Get rowdy. I want to hear the Rowdy Roosters all freaking weekend long. Let's make Founders Park an intimidating atmosphere. Let's get after Mississippi State. Support the boys. Support this team. This is a good ball club going through the SEC grind, chasing that postseason dream. And again, I think they will take a major step yet again this weekend, taking 2 out of 3 for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Lock it in. Gamecocks take 2 out of 3, folks. Have a fantastic weekend. Appreciate you all tuning in. Go Cox, beat Mississippi State, and we'll talk to you on Monday.